Hello, I'm Philip Muggleston, and in this series of videos we're covering the predictive capabilities native to SAP HANA. In this video we're going to look at the AFL wrapper eraser procedure. Now you're already more than familiar from the other videos at how to use the AFL wrapper generator procedure to create a procedure that you want to then call to access one of the Predictive Analysis Library algorithms of HANA. And as we see the code here, we can maybe run that. You set your schema to what you need it to be. You create a table type for your input parameter results table. You create a signature table that then refers to the table types with input or output parameter. And then finally, you call the wrapper generator to actually build a procedure. So if we run that, we can see that runs fine. However, you may have noticed in the troubleshooting video or actually experienced it yourself that, for example, if you maybe change some of these types or make a change in the signature table, you might want to recreate your procedure. Now, the procedure we've created is called pal_ts_s. That was our choice. It's a single exponential smoothing example. If you were to rerun the wrapper generator and you've already created the procedure, then you'll get some errors. In fact, you'll get this error saying live cache error. Go and have a look at what's gone wrong. See the index server trace. So let's go and have a look at the index server trace and see what went wrong. So we'll open up the admin tool, go to the diagnostic files, and we can filter on index server and have a look at that trace file. Now, just to save time, I'm going to search and we'll look for the previous example of AFL PM_SQL because that's actually going to be the error message we need. So we find the previous example of that message and we can see, registration of AFL wrapper failed. It's actually trying to create some types. It's trying to create a type called _sysAFL with TTP1 at the end, some table types. And it's trying to create a type which in fact already exists. It says cannot create or use duplicate user-defined type name. So basically it's trying to create a type that already exists. So what we're going to need to do is to remove any internal table types that are used by the wrapper generator procedure before we can run that procedure again. So if we go back to our code, so in fact the table types and the procedure themselves need to be removed, and there is one table type created for each row you have in your signature table. So in fact, if we were to run the code here to drop the procedure and drop the table types, then we'd be able to run the AFL wrapper generator again. However, that's maybe not the ideal solution. It would be nice if there was one easy way for that to be done automatically for us. And yes, there is, and I'm going to show you how. Now, there's an AFL_wrapper eraser procedure available. So we can just call it like this, very simply, AFL wrapper eraser. However, it's not installed by default. But what this procedure will do is effectively remove the existing procedure, giving the name you've got, and also remove the associated table types that were defined by the wrapper generator procedure. So in order to get this wrapper eraser, you need to access a SAP note. So we're going to go to the support portal, so service.sap.com. Then we go to the support portal link. Then we go to the help and support tab and search for SAP notes. And what we can do, knowing this error, you can search in fact on live cache and duplicate, which relates to the error message we saw, and you should find in the list a SAP note that was created on the 4th of April 2013, which is the third one in the list here, which gives us the information we need. If you want to go directly to this SAP note, you can also go by number, and in fact the number of the SAP note is 1830239. So that's a way you can also get there directly. So what we see is this SAP note explains the error message we were seeing and the problem, and it also has within it an attachment which is called AFL wrapper eraser.txt. And if you open the attachment, what you see is some code. It's the code to create the AFL wrapper procedure. So if you are able to copy that and then you paste that into HANA Studio, into a SQL window. So let's paste. We can now run that to create the wrapper eraser procedure. Now we need to be logged in as the system user. This procedure has to be run by the system user, and it needs to be created by the system user. So we'll just make sure we log in as HTTP system with the system user, and we run the code. And we can see that the procedure has been successfully created. Now you might want to save that code away for future use just in case, but basically once you've created it, you shouldn't need to do anything more. So if we then go back to our wrapper generator code, what we can now do, having created that wrapper eraser, is simply call it. So we'll run that code. So now the wrapper eraser has effectively deleted the table types and the procedure itself. And now if we're to call the wrapper generator again, we see that it works. It works fine. If we try it again, it fails because the table types and procedure already exist. Call the wrapper eraser. Now we can call the wrapper generator again. Now, in fact, the wrapper generator has been designed exactly in this way to avoid you inadvertently removing existing procedures. You need to explicitly remove the procedure and the associated table types. And the easy way to do that now is using the AFL wrapper eraser procedure. Now the system user obviously can run this, and the procedure runs, same as the generator, runs as the system user. However, if it's a non-system user that's actually building the application, for example, we have a user called, we can maybe create a user called PalDev for being our development user. And we just create our user as PalDev, okay, and save. What we need to do is to authorize the PalDev user to use the wrapper eraser. Now, we've already mentioned in a previous video how to do that for the wrapper generator, and it's basically the same thing. So actually this code below is a very easy way to do it. It's simply a grant execute on system.fl_wrapper_eraser, which is the name of the eraser procedure, to, and then the name of user. And we just created a user called PalDev, but that could be any name you want. So if you then issue that grant, if you were to log in as the PAL_dev user in HANA Studio, that user would then be able to call the AFL wrapper eraser procedure themselves. So now we've seen how to simplify and work more easily with the wrapper generator by taking advantage of the new AFL_wrapper_eraser procedure.